prophet witness of Muhammad after Muhammad because you say he's the last prophet. So Muhammad has no witnesses.
No witnesses in what sense though?
In his prophethood. He has no witnesses to say he is a prophet.
I mean, I could bring up a lot of evidence based on, even in the Bible, it was evidence that he was supposed to come as a prophet.
What in the Bible? What's the Bible you can bring up?
I know, you know, in like the book of Genesis, it talked about the covenant with Abraham with God.
Yes.
And he asked, could Ishmael be under his blessing?
Yes.
Then it talks about
he never said I would get Ishmael prophethood. He said I would make Ishmael a great nation.
Wait, listen.
Okay.
Then he talks about, then if you go forward in Genesis, it talks about the descendants of Ishmael, talks about Kedar, you know, I know you know this. Then problem also was the descendant of Kedar, and it talks about in, what is it, Isaiah?
Yeah.
I believe.
How did King
it says that they will be under their covenant. His descendants.
Yeah,
he
so
would make them a great nation.
You would have
and
to
the covenant was prophethood.
You would need to get the verse and you would need to prove it with the verse, right? So what you're saying right now, y'all just all subjective. So you have to pull the verse and show me what you mean in the Bible to show me that Muhammad has a witness.
All right, give me.
All right. And two, a covenant doesn't mean prophethood. Also, we cannot prove Muhammad came from Ishmael, even if Ishmael was promised the prophet. But it's not rage bait. It's an honest question. It's not a rage bait. I don't think the brother came up raging. He's actually pretty calm for most Muslims. I haven't got called a slur yet, and I let two Muslims up, so that's pretty good. But I think it's probably because Rashid is black himself. That's probably why I didn't get called a slur yet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's the verse?
If you go to Isaiah 42:11.
Isaiah 42:11 is going to talk about a covenant with Ishmael.
No, Isaiah 42:11.
Okay, let's just go there and see what it says.
So it talks about the wilderness and like where Kedar resides. They're rejoicing because of the covenant which came to them, the prophethood.
Yeah, no. So covenant. Wait, hold on, right? So you can't just keep going. One, we have to start at verse 1. He says, "Behold, my servant whom I have held, my elect one in whom my soul delights. I will put my spirit upon him." Was the spirit of Allah upon Muhammad?
The spirit of Allah, if you understand it from Islamic context, it means
not from you said the Bible is the witness, so I don't need to understand it from an Islamic context. I need what the text says. The text says that the spirit, because you brought this verse as your proof. The text says that the spirit of Allah was upon him. Was the spirit of Allah upon Muhammad?
Yes.
Yes. So Allah. So there is a spirit of God.
Yes.
And it can come upon people.
I need to finish. The spirit of Allah is the angel Jibril. It's a spirit from him.
Yeah. So no problem. Jibril can come upon people, not just speak to them, but Jibril can actually come upon them.
He can come to them. Yes.
No, not to them. Upon them. Upon and to are two different things.
If you come upon someone, that doesn't mean like you're dwelling inside of them.
Yes, it does. Let's look at the definition of the word. Let's go to the blue letter Bible and let's see what come upon means. All right, so we got to get this. You can't just make your own definitions because you're saying the Bible is your evidence. So we're gonna have to get biblical proof. No, okay, I get you. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna go get a definition of the word. It's okay.
Let me just. I just want to elaborate on my point.
You know, I don't want you to keep elaborating until we get past this one issue, right? So we can't just continue to make.
I'm talking about this issue. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can't.
We don't use the Bible.
Yes. So
you understand.
So no problem. Ibn Rashid. That's fine. But you said that the Bible was his witness. So what you use doesn't matter to me because you said the Bible was his witness. So
I didn't say that was the only witness.
Okay. Well, then you need to give me another. If you're not going to take the Bible's definition of words, you need to give me another witness. You can't give me the Bible because you don't believe in it.
No, we believe that it's truth in the Bible. We do believe it's truth in the Bible.
You can't pick and choose.
But if you go to Sahih Bukhari, if you go to the book of Revelation, that's the first book in Bukhari.
Sahih Bukhari.
The first book. The first book in Bukhari.
Yes.
There's narrations about Prophet Muhammad receiving revelation.
Who said that he received that revelation? Who saw him receive it?
It was the companions around him. They witnessed these things and they narrated it to other people.
What did the companions witness? Give me an example of a hadith. We'll go and we'll read it.
All right, let me go to it. Let me go to the book one. So if you go to the book of Revelation.
Is it a book? It's a Bukhari hadith, I would guess.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's Sahih Bukhari what?
Sahih Bukhari. If you're in the English version, that's literally the second narration in the book of Revelation.
So it's just Sahih Bukhari 2?
Sahih Bukhari, you go to the first chapter, chapter 1.
The mother of the faithful believers, is what you're talking about? How is the divine inspiration? Messenger. So she asked Muhammad, how was the divine revelation revealed to you? Allah's messenger told her, so he's his own witness. You can't be your own witness.
Yes, but keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Sometimes it is revealed like a ringing of a bell. This is the form of inspiration, is the hardest of all. And then this state passes off after I have grasped what is inspired. Sometimes the angels comes in the form of a man and talks to me, and I grasp whatever he says. Aisha added, verily I saw the prophet being divinely inspired on a very cold day and noticed sweat dropping from his forehead as the inspiration was over. How does this prove the inspiration came from God? How does this prove he's a prophet?
So if you go in the Quran with a devil, you would say like he was inspired by the devil, right?
Would he say it? No, he doesn't believe it's the devil.
No, I
want you to prove it's God.
Would you say that? I said, would you say that?
Yeah, I would say he was. Yeah, I would say he's inspired by a demonic spirit. Yes, probably the devil himself.
So each time before we recite from the Quran, we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, meaning I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed Satan.
That doesn't. That's fine. That doesn't prove, right? That doesn't prove that Muhammad had a witness. Whatever you say out of your own mouth, what the devil. The Bible tells me, and I do take the Bible as my witness. The Bible tells me that the devil comes as an angel of light. So the devil will come, and just because the devil, and I think Islam has this problem, just because you say a name doesn't mean that the devil doesn't know you're still my servant. Just because you say, "Oh, Shaitan, get away," he said, "Okay, cool, but I'm right here. I gave you this book." So just hold on, just let me finish. Just let me finish, right? Just because you say a name does not mean anything. It doesn't. Just because you say, "Oh, Uda Bala, Shaitan," it doesn't change anything.
I'm not just saying that's the only point. Yeah. If you constantly go through the Quran, if you read the Quran, have you ever like read the Quran?
Yes, I've read the Quran.
Like the full thing.
Whole thing.
So if you see in the Quran how many times it talks about worship God alone.
Yeah, who
reject the devil. Okay, leave from temptation.
Respectfully. If you read, my man, if you read Hindu books, it's going to tell you to reject the devil and serve God. What does that mean?
The main core of Hinduism is polytheism.
No. So if you ask a Hindu, they're not going to call it polytheism. So that's my point.
We know
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you know. My point is right here: prove without using the Quran, because the Quran was revealed to who?
To Prophet
Muhammad. So you cannot use a book that was given to you by Muhammad to prove Muhammad. That doesn't make any sense.
So if you can say that same thing for when Paul said he seen Jesus.
Paul had witnesses with him when he saw Jesus.
So they seen Jesus also?
They witnessed, yes, they were witnesses to it. They saw the light.
They said I seen Jesus.
They said I saw the light. A light came from heaven and they saw the light. And the next witness of Paul that we have is that after Paul had this vision, he went to the apostles that walked with Jesus. And he said, this is what I saw and this is what he told me. And they said, yes, you did see our Lord and we offer you the right hand of fellowship. So not only do we have the men who
are these accounts written by?
Luke. So I would even accept, my man, I would even accept if you could find someone who wrote that someone else was with Muhammad in the cave. I'm not even saying that you got to have multiple people. Just give me one person who wrote there was someone else with Muhammad in the cave that can prove this came from God. You can't even do this. That's my point. So I'm not even asking you to produce multiple books or something. I'm saying even produce where Islam teaches that Muhammad had a witness. Islam doesn't even teach that Muhammad had a witness. I'm giving you hadith. It's a narration by Ibn Abbas. He said that he's seen the angel Jibril with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Ibn Abbas' father, he said, did you see him? He said, yes. Ibn Abbas' father did not see Jibril. He came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ the next day. He said, oh, why didn't you answer us? He said, I was speaking to Jibril. He said that Ibn Abbas seen him and I didn't. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that you're gonna lose your eyesight if you go older. Problem. He got older, he lost his eyesight. No problem. Who can rectify?
That's two witnesses.
Hold on one
second. There.
You're not listening to what I'm asking for. It's not that someone saw Muhammad with a figure. The same way I'm not asking that Paul saw someone with a figure. My point is, prove that this is a heavenly figure. Who can prove this? Who?
Who can prove that Paul seen Jesus and that was actually Jesus
He
and that wasn't the
went to
devil?
the apostles who met Jesus in the flesh, and they
But
said,
you said it
hold
yourself.
on, they are his witness. The apostles themselves who walked with Christ on the earth is Paul's witness. That's Paul's witness. If Paul hold on really quick, if Paul had not went to the apostles themselves who walked with Christ on the earth, we would not listen to Paul.
Wait, listen. This is like conversation getting a little hype. I'm like
It's
trying to
not
have
hype.
an honest conversation.
But you have to give me what I'm asking for, right? I don't want to. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, brother. I don't want to listen. I want you to give me what I'm asking for.
But if you don't listen, how can you like understand what I'm trying to tell you?
I need proof. I don't really care what you're trying to tell me. Give me a writing.
All right, so if we go to, is even a narration by Abu Sufyan. He was one of the most staunch enemies of Islam, right? He went to Heraclius, who was the king, the Roman emperor of the Christians at that time.
Yes.
He explained who Prophet Muhammad was. He explained where he came from, his lineage, all this stuff.
Yes.
His prophet Heraclius bore witness. He said that he's a prophet. If you go to the king that was in Ethiopia,
okay, well,
he was visited by the same spirit that visited.
Calm down. Give me the hadith that you just mentioned where he went to a Roman king. Let's read it and we'll break it.
Go to Sahih
Bukhari.
Book of Revelation, the seventh narration.
So by Sahih Bukhari, the same book I was just in. Now we're just going from 3 to 7. Okay, let's go to 7.
It says, "Wa anahu radi Allahu anhu."
Okay, calm down. Listen,
Sufyan,
calm down. I'm just gonna read it. All right. Heraclius sent a messenger to him while he had been accompanying the caravan from the Quraysh. There were merchants doing business in Sham, Syria, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan. At the time, Allah's messenger had a truce. And I about to send his companions to Heraclius. Sorry, I got a phone call. Heraclius, who was at Jerusalem, Heraclius calls him to court. The senior Roman dictators around him. He called for a translator. Bring them. Prophet, I told him lie about the things contradict me. Unless I had by Allah, have not been afraid of companions, let me be a liar. I have spoken the truth. Has anybody amongst him ever claimed the same to be a prophet before him? No. Was anybody among his ancestors a king? No. Do the nobles or the poor follow him? It is the poor who follow him. Our mission increase, decrease, they are increasing. And he asks, does anybody among these people embrace the religion? Displease not? No. Hercules said, have you ever accused him telling lies before he claimed to be a prophet? No. Did they ever break his promises? No. Hercules, everyone no. So I come back. He says, what is this? He tells us to worship Allah. He replied negative. I had been affirmed. I had thought this man wanted to take a break from this street by further acts. All right. So where does let's see. He says this letter is from Muhammad. All people of the scripture. When Hercules finished his speech reading the letter, he was a great hero of the royal court. So I turned to the court, told my companion's prophet to become a prominent king. Afraid I started to become the prophet, conquering man. I am conquering the future till I embrace Islam. So man, I'm gonna give it the head of the This is a sham and the narrates. Once Hercules visited, he got up in the morning and said some of his priests had some watching the movies. And now, when the stars saw a letter, those who practice circumcision become a conqueror. Who are they practice? Replied, except the Jews. Nobody practice circumcision. People have seen him in Heraclius. This is a very long hadith. Where in this hadith exactly does Heraclius say that Muhammad is a prophet?
I'm trying to go to the end of it. Hold on.
O Byzantines, if your success is desired and you seek righteous guidance, you want your prophet to remain, give them a pledge of allegiance to the prophet and embrace Islam. To this prophet and embrace Islam. The people towards the gates of the palace, Heraclius realized hatred towards Islam, and when the host lost embraced Islam, he ordered that they should be brought back to the audience when they returned. What was just put to scale, I have seen it. The people have prostrated before him, became pleased with him, and this was the end of Heraclius' story. Yeah. So one, so you would say what, Heraclius is a prophet of God?
No, I didn't say that.
All right, so how?
I said Heraclius himself, his inner self, he bore witness that he was a true prophet.
Where?
You literally just read it.
No, he said this prophet. And two, who is Heraclius? My point remains, right? Who is Heraclius to say that Muhammad is a true prophet? Heraclius is a governor. He's not a priest.
He was the Christian. He was the emperor of the Christian, right? Yeah, the emperor of the Byzantines.
Precisely. Somebody can be.
He was a Christian.
Somebody. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying, right? Someone can be a Christian, i.e., Christians went after Montanist, right? Montanists claimed to be a prophet. Christians followed after Montanists, but the church, the priests, the bishops didn't follow after Montanists. The people who had the revelation of God didn't follow after Montanus. There was a guy named Simon Magnus that was around at the time of the apostles who claimed to be of God, right? People follow him. Christians follow him. That does not indicate someone giving him proof of his prophethood. Just because you can get some people to follow you, that doesn't prove you're a prophet. If that's the case,
that's not my point.
Really quick,
my point is we have various narrations from different people who weren't connected.
If you just let me finish what I was saying, I'll let you speak. Right? That would mean that Joseph Smith is a prophet. By your standard of how you figure out if someone is a prophet, Joseph Smith, who wrote the Book of Mormonism, Church of Latter-day Saints, is a prophet as well.
He didn't have any miracles or any signs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, miracles and signs does not mean you're a prophet. The Bible says that the devil, Satan, is going to do miracles and signs. So much so that he will achieve the very elect if possible.
That's a point I'm trying to bring up. How do you know that wasn't with Paul and who he was speaking to?
I'm not talking about, listen, I told you how I know. Because Paul went to the apostles of Jesus Christ themselves, and they were witnesses to Paul. That's how we know.
I can say the same thing. After Prophet Muhammad received revelation, he went to a Christian monk.
No. It's a difference, really quick. It's a difference between going to some random Christian and going to the apostles of Jesus Christ themselves. I keep telling you this. You're not understanding. It's a difference between going to the apostles of, and we're not even talking about Paul, but it's a difference between going to the apostles of Jesus Christ and going to some random Christian and some random Christian saying, hey, yeah, Muhammad, too. You would have to prove to me who this man was. But what is the objective evidence? What is the proof? Who witnessed?
So listen to this.
Yeah.
Jabir ibn Abdullah, right? He said,
Muhammad's going to a monk.
He's walking with Prophet Muhammad. He heard a voice from the sky. He looked up and he saw the same angel who had visited the cave of Hira sitting on the chair between the sky and the earth.
Who saw this?
Jabir ibn Abdullah.
How does he know? Just you already messed yourself up, right? Because how does he know? Did he see the angel in the cave? Who was in the,
he said,
okay, so boom. So wait. That hadith proved itself to be a lie as soon as you read it. Because he said,
no, I didn't say Jabir.
Let me finish.
This is he reported from the prophet.
Okay, so the prophet is reporting this.
No, but can I have to like finish my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said that he's seen the same angel, right?
Just point of clarification. You're saying Muhammad said he saw the same angel.
Yes, but okay. I'm trying to clarify my point.
I just want to get a point. Go ahead.
So we take this narration. We take all the narrations of Prophet Muhammad saying he's seen the angel. The angel came to him. He spoke to him. Then we take other narrations of people saying,
No. Stop. No. My man's. You give me a source because you brought me actual source, so I'll let you read. And then you just start talking.
This is all from Bukhari.
And then you just start talking something random. All you just gave me right there from a source was that Muhammad said he saw the same angel. Muhammad cannot be a witness of himself.
I'm trying to give you.
Who else saw the angel in the cave other than Muhammad?
Who else seen Jesus with Paul? That's the same question.
Okay. Did someone else who had seen this angel before, did Muhammad then go to them, give him the witness of the angel and say, hey, is this angel truly from God?
It was no prophet before him. How could he ask was the angel?
It was no prophets before who?
Before in Arabia? It was coming from the lineage of Ibrahim. It was no prophets in Arabia.
My point. You just proved my point. There was no prophets in Arabia. There was no prophets who preached what he taught. There was no prophets who said what he said. There was absolutely no proof of anything that he said, i.e. he has no witness. Yes, now you're getting it. He has no witness.
This is my point. Who seen Jesus to say, yes, this was Jesus that you seen with Paul?
Peter
was with Paul. He's seen Jesus.
Peter testifies that Paul is a follower of Jesus Christ and he's a beloved brother. He's one of them.
But who actually seen him? You're bringing me the same point. I'm bringing you the same thing that you asking me.
No,
we're not. We're bringing you firsthand testimony from the followers of Jesus.
And I'm bringing you firsthand testimony from the
you're not. You're bringing us a story from DJ Scribbles 200 years later when legends were passed on about Muhammad. That's not even a source. It's not even source material.
That's literally not how hadith works.
Spreading rumors called the hadith is not source, friend. This is people making claims.
Do you know how hadith work?
Yeah, and my cousin.
Elaborate on how they work.
My cousin through suckling told my friend down the street that told me, and I said they're all trustworthy people. Therefore, the legend must be true.
That's not how they work. So
work,
I know that you're ignorant of Islam. So can I please finish
That's
speaking?
exactly how hadith work.
We have multiple accounts. We have multiple accounts that show that the companions that were with Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, they seen him receive revelation. Later. It was
okay.
Listen, that actually
just listen. If you just listen to what I'm saying. No one's claiming that no can or receiving revelation from a demon. My point is, can you prove it wasn't a demon? Who can testify that this is not a demon? Who can testify that Muhammad was having an actual experience with God, with the God of Abraham?
There were Jews from Medina. Some accepted Islam.
Listen to what I'm saying.
They said from our book, it was monks. There were Jewish monks, scholars of their time.
So once again, let me.
We bear witness that you are a prophet, and this was the angel Jibril that came.
You have a problem. You have a problem. First, you just said Jewish monks. That's your first issue. Jewish monks. That's number one issue. Number two, this would mean that if some sheikh anywhere accepts Christianity, you would have to affirm that Christianity is true based on the same evidence you're giving me. If some sheikh somewhere accepts Latter-day Saints, you would have to say that Mormonism is the true religion according to the evidence.
It's not about accepting it. It's about having the evidence.
Okay, present to me that evidence.
I'm telling you the evidence.
No, all you're telling me is someone. No, all you're
Jewish and Christian monks.
Here we go. Ibn Rashad. Cool. They were versed. Now, do me a favor. Give me the scriptures that they presented to say that Muhammad was a prophet.
What do you mean? They had the Bible, the Torah,
okay,
and
that's no problem. Give me the script. No. Give me the actual verse. Was it Isaiah? Was it Ezekiel? Was it Isaiah's? What is the actual verse they used?
There's verses in Isaiah that point to the prophet.
Give me the verse that they use. We just tried to go to the Bible. You didn't accept the Bible. You didn't want to get biblical definitions. So I would need you to give me the verse that they used. What is the verse that they said? Is in the hadith, they give a verse that they say, based on the prophecy in Ezekiel chapter 7, we believe Muhammad is a prophet. They give us anything. Any lick of any evidence.
They said in the Old Testament, the Torah, right?
Yes. Oh, in the Torah or the Tanakh? They said in the Torah?
In Arabic, I'm trying to think of the
Torah is the first 5 books of Moses.
The Tanakh. I believe it was the Tanakh.
It's not.
They said that his description is in there.
Okay, give me the verse. Where is it?
In Isaiah 42.
Isaiah. We just went over Isaiah 42, and you said that the Spirit of God cannot come upon someone. When I tried to give you,
didn't say that.
When I tried to give you the definition of come upon, you said you will not accept the biblical definition of upon. You said I don't accept.
No,
I will give
if
you.
We go to the Tanakh. If we go to the Tanakh, right, we have to take the definition of the scholars of those books. Who are the Jewish monks, right? Not what Christians interpreted afterwards.
Hold on. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you what we'll do. When we'll go, this is what we'll do. So let's get Jewish scholars that actually existed before Christ, and let's see what they say about Isaiah 42. You want to do that?
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Uh-oh, because this is about the suffering servant. Sorry.
You good. Let's see what they say.
Yeah, so Isaiah 42, the beginning of Isaiah 42 is considered the servant songs, part of the servant songs. This same servant is resurrected.
Here you go, Ibn Rashad. Now you agree that Jesus, you agree that Jesus is the Messiah, right?
Yes.
All right. Now let's show you. This is the Targum of Jonathan. So this is the Jewish interpretation before Christ, not postmodern Jewish interpretation that was only apologetic against Christianity. This is what the Jews before Jesus thought that chapter 42 of Isaiah was about. Behold my servant, the what? What does that say, Ibn Rashad?
Messiah.
We're not denying that Jesus is the Messiah.
No, he's saying that he's saying this whole chapter 42 that you say is about Muhammad. The Jews before Jesus said this verse was about who?
Say that again.
The whole chapter 42 that you're trying to say is a prophecy about Muhammad. Who are the Jews before Jesus saying this chapter of Isaiah will be about?
The Messiah. But we know that They denied Jesus the Messiah. So
it doesn't matter. Do you think Muhammad is the Messiah?
In what sense of the word Messiah?
Who? See, now you're going back and forth. Who? No, not a Messiah. The Messiah. Who is the? Not this doesn't say a Messiah. Who is the Messiah?
The Messiah who the Jews were speaking about. I believe they believe he's going to be the last prophet.
According to you, okay. So you're saying in this sense that Muhammad can be called the Messiah. You cooking yourself. Can Muhammad be called? My man, no, not a Messiah. This doesn't say a. So stop with the a stuff. It says the Messiah. Is Muhammad the Messiah?
According to Muslims, no.
No. So this verse is not about Muhammad. According to the Jews, this is before Christ. This is before Muhammad. Targum Jonathan. According to the Jews, this verse is about the Messiah.
And what word are they translating as Messiah? Because I would have to go check this.
You just said you wanted what the Jews thought about the verse. That's what I'm saying. But this is not my man. This isn't a translation. This is a commentary. You said you wanted to know what the Jews thought about the Messiah. That's what you said. When I tried to actually take you to definitions of words, you said no. I want to see what the Jews thought about this verse. Now I'm taking you to what the Jews thought about this verse, and you want to jump back to definition of words.
I'm not jumping back. I'm literally saying what word are they interpreting?
That's exactly what you're doing, my man. Listen to what I'm saying. You literally just said what word are they translating? Meaning now you want to go back to translations. When before I tried to take you to translations, you said you wanted to see what the Jews thought about it. Which one do you want? Do you want translations of words?
The Jewish translation or interpretation of the word Messiah.
Which okay, one. Now you do want to go back to the definition of words.
I'm talking about the Jewish interpretation and definition of the word.
Interpretation and
not Christian.
My man's interpretation and definition are two different things. Which one do you want? Do you want interpretation or do you want definition?
Well, you would need both. We're speaking English right now.
So I just gave you the interpretation. Now do you want the definition? I'm sorry. So now you want the definition.
Because what word are they getting Messiah from in the Jewish script?
My man, when they read, it's not a word. When they read this Bible, when they read where it says, behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect one in whom my soul delights, they know that my elect one is the Messiah because of their tradition. They understand who the elect one is. It's the Messiah that's to come.
Yes.
Right. This is particularly the Messiah, King Messiah. And the Jews recognize this. Well, hold on, friend. Judaism's not going to help you here because Judaism, this is where they get Messiah ben Joseph from, the dying, resurrecting Messiah.
But this is what I'm saying. What the Jews believe is their Messiah, right? They believe someone who's going to come towards the end of time. He's going to rule over other nations, but their religion is going to be dominant, right?
Messiah ben Joseph. That's
what the Jews believe, right?
Friend, hold on. I know what the Jews believe.
That's what the Jews believe. Their Messiah is going to come at the end of time, be dominant over the other nations. They believe he was going to be like a ruler.
Right? I don't want to mute you, man.
What you're talking about. Yeah, this is Messiah ben Joseph. He's the same person in Isaiah 53 that dies, and he put in a rich man's tomb, and he resurrects. Guess where Jesus was put, friend? He was put in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, a rich man, and then guess what happens? This same servant in Isaiah 42 is part of the servant songs. He's the same servant of Isaiah 53 that dies and resurrects. Be careful with the Jews, friend. There's a whole book with 600 pages written full of the Messiah being the entirety of Isaiah being about King Messiah.
Can I finish my point now?
Try.
The Jews believe that their Messiah was going to be one who was dominant over the other nations, right?
The Jews believe their Messiah, and as we can read to you what the Jews thought about the Messiah in Isaiah 53. The Jews believe their Messiah is going to die.
And he resurrects.
And he's going to come back from there. So that's what they believe about their Messiah. Their Messiah is going to die and come back. Exactly.
But the Jews, would they believe that their Messiah is going to be dominant over the nations?
Their Messiah is going to be dominant over the yes.
So was Jesus dominant over the other nations?
Yes, Jesus is dominant over the other nations. Yes, of course he is.
Jesus in his lifetime was dominant over the other nations.
Nothing says Jesus is alive. So yes, in his lifetime he was dominant over the other nations. Nothing says that it has to be while he's physical on earth, it has to be dominant. It doesn't say that. You're adding to the text. But Jesus is dominant over the other nations. Yes.
He did because
Jesus is dominant over the other nations right now.
Yes.
Yes, Jesus calls the
So
heart.
Christianity.
Yes.
There's a Christian state right now that has dominance over all other nations.
It's not a state.
Yes.
No, first of all, where in the Bible does it say a state? Where
That's
does
what
it
the
say?
Jews believe.
It doesn't. Yeah. Where does the one? You have to prove they say a state. Number two, right? It just says he'll be dominant. Where does it say a state?
The Jews, they believe that it's going to be a Jewish nation.
Show me.
No,
you can. I don't have a computer in front of me, but you can literally search this
he
up.
would be dominant over the entire world, friend.
Not just over a Jewish state.
The Jews and
Daniel's. I think he's conflating Daniel's prophecies. So we do believe that Christ set up a kingdom, and the kingdom is a spiritual kingdom until it becomes a physical kingdom. So that's number one. Number two, you made an error in saying that they believe their Messiah is going to come towards the end of time. No, that's not true. According to Daniel, he should be before the destruction of the second temple.
That's right.
So where are you getting this? The Jews believe he's going to come at the end of the time. Where are you getting this from?
I said closer towards the end of time.
Okay, again, it's a prophecy, dude. It's a prophecy in the book of Daniel that the Messiah must come before the destruction of the second temple. When did that happen? The destruction of the second temple, when did it happen? This is a historical fact now. You can Google it right
happened, now. Destruction of second temple. It happened
70 AD, man. It's come on.
Okay.
I can't even get my answer out.
Since it is before 70 AD, and they're trying to, and they rejected the Messiah, what do you think they're going to do to cover it up for their disbelief of the Messiah? Unless they're going to say that Daniel is a false prophet, which they will never do, then what would happen? Obviously, they're going to create all these commentaries that this is why Eusebius said, let's just focus on the commentaries before Christ. Because, you know, the majority, the commentary that you're reading today is post the rejection of the Messiah.
So
correct?
once again, you're hurting yourself. You've hurt yourself. So now that you've made me go, hold on, I'll tell you how. Now that you've made me go and you wanted what the Jews thought about this verse. Now the Jews think this Isaiah 42 that you think is a prophecy. You trust the Jews. You keep telling me the reason why we don't know because the Jews said.
I never said I trust the Jews. I said see what they said.
Okay, cool. We saw what they said. Now they believe that Isaiah 42 is about the Messiah. You don't believe that Muhammad is the Messiah, correct?
To the Jewish nation, no, he's not the Messiah.
To you, is Muhammad the Messiah? To anyone in the world, is Muhammad the Messiah? Sorry, I missed it. I had a phone call. Yeah, is to anyone in the world, is Muhammad the Messiah? To any religion in the world, is Muhammad the Messiah?
I just said no, he's the last prophet.
No, okay, i.e. this verse cannot be about Muhammad. Thanks. What other evidence do you have of Muhammad's prophethood? Because now you can't use Isaiah 42. Give me another verse in the Bible that'll be evidence of Muhammad's prophethood.
He shouldn't have been in Isaiah anyway, because the God of the Quran doesn't quote from Isaiah, that part of the Tanakh. How
do you even know that? Does it mention Isaiah as a prophet in Islam? I really don't know.
Isaiah is a prophet.
They don't have him listed, but they have hundreds of thousands.
Ibn Rashad, can you prove Isaiah is a prophet according to Islam?
Yeah, I don't have the actual. Actually,
I just want to see if you can. Maybe you can. I don't know.
I think I have the
Brother Eusebius, I would not entertain this because again they believe in thousands of prophets.
I'm just wondering if he mentioned by name.
Yeah. Oh no, he wouldn't be mentioned by name by let's say hadith.
So how would you know? So how would they even know he's a prophet? You're assuming.
Because Ibn Kathir, I'll tell you how. So Ibn Kathir would actually numerate the prophets in his book and numerate a multitude of the biblical prophets.
But the Quran gives us the criterion that Muhammad is going to be in the Torah and the Injil, not in Isaiah.
That's true. So two. Well, that's even a better point. Can you show me Muhammad in the Torah and the Injil?
I mean, I'm not a scholar of the Torah and the Injil.
Neither was your God. It's okay.
So can you prove
Bro,
again,
who is this guy?
So we kind of,
I was honestly enjoying the conversation before this guy even entered.
So we kind of get back to
Jordan,
so we kind of get back to the topic of, once again, can you show us a witness of Muhammad?
I literally just gave you multiple narrations. You can't show me a witness that Paul seen Jesus.
Why are you trying to jump? Listen. Why are you jumping to Paul?
I'm using your same standard.
Here, we'll go back. We'll do this again, right? When the thing with Paul is, you would agree, according to our context, because you're asking us how do we know? According to our context, we believe that Peter walked with Christ himself, right? That's what Christians believe.
Okay.
Paul, after he had his vision, who did they take Paul to?
Peter, I would presume.
They took Paul to Peter, and what did Peter say about Paul?
You said a witness.
Yeah.
Who is a witness? What does witness mean?
That's all I mean by witness, i.e., if you can take me to someone else who was a prophet of God, someone else who saw Jabril, who Jabril came to and met Jabril and spoke to Jabril, and he will testify that Muhammad even spoke to Jabril. Better yet, we get to the point, did Jabril come from God?
That's not a witness from your point of view.
That's exactly. Yes, it is. Oh, yes,
they took him to somebody.
That's all.
Paul told him a story. My man. What I seen. He said, "Okay, you're with us."
That's all I'm asking you for. Just you present that.
So our witness stories are stronger than Paul's story.
No, it's not, because no one that you can bring to as a witness met Jabril, better yet met God, but you said he can't meet God, so that's fine. No one that you can bring as a witness met Jabril independently from Muhammad. You can't bring me that. Bring me anyone.
I just
Sorry, no. Hold on, Paul. Give me 1 second. No. That's my point. I said independent of Muhammad, not that just seen Jabril, but that spoke to Jabril, and that can say that Muhammad's message from Jabril is the same message they received from Jabril. The same way that Peter said Paul's message that he got from Christ is the same message that Peter got from Christ when he walked with him. So bring me someone who met. Just listen to
Jabril not coming to.
You're not listening, bro, and I hate to mute you, but you're not comprehending. Thank you. Got out of here. I appreciate it. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, we got this guy.